Lexi, once in a while, she's dropping things.
Yeah, I'm a little rusty, guys. It's either that or all the lead in the Flint water I've been drinking.
I'm going to go with the water.
I was going to say, is that joke too old yet?
Never be too old. Coming up to jam number 2, out there, number 12 is Foxy Mad. We have an official timeout.
Look.
I have a feeling they're going to be looking at the scoreboard because doesn't a jam last 2 minutes?
It last I checked.
Yeah, and it's been how many years?
Oh man, it's been 2.5 years since I last announced Juicy.
And look at that, you jumped right back into it, just like getting right back on that horse, that bicycle.
I know. Action.
So we got Fox and Mad for the Broadbarians going up against, it looks like number 2, Andy Wardahl.
It's like, ooh, look at that, number 2. She is sliding right out there for the Vixens. Coming in ahead, she is going to be your lead jammer, Andy Wardahl.
And that timeout was for a clock fix because we have a nice monitor in front of us.
Yep. Oh, we have a panty pass there from the Broadbarians.
24.
That's going to be 24. Oh, never mind.
A couple of deuces, I think.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, it's got to be 12. Fox and Mad out there for the Broadbarians going up against.
I believe so, Juicy.
Yeah, as I'm asking you instead of looking at my sheet.
And it looks like Fox and Mad for the Broadbarians is going to be your lead jammer.
And she's on a power jam as Andy Wardahl went for a forearm.
Yep.
I think the captain's in the box also for the Broadbarians.
She is. But that means the Vixens are at full strength. Oof, and they're going to give Fox and Mad a little bit of trouble there at the turn. Well, let's see. And Fox and Mad manages to come out, put 4 more points on the board for the Broadbarians.
Nice 21-point jam so far. I think the whole one in the box for the Broadbarians out on the track. Looks like Bam Bam Rebel number 8
and
going up.
Andy Wardahl slipping right through that pack, but she's not going to be your lead jammer.
She got quick feet, doesn't she?
Oh, she does. She is tiny and she is fast.
Full allotment of skaters on the track. We call that an all skate.
Yep.
Every point helps.
It sure does.
Andy Wardahl out there, number 2. Her mom's not in attendance tonight. She's probably back in Cincinnati.
Oh.
I even made her stand up and wave. Bam Bam Rebel. Bam Bam Rebel, number 8, is out there for the Broadbarians.
And it looks like we've got 2 on 4 out there. 2 of the Broadbarians now in the penalty box. Ooh.
There's your lead jammer right now for the Vixens. A much-needed lead jammer is number 2.
Andy Wardahl. And Bam Bam's back out there jamming. Andy Wardahl takes a slide to the floor and calls it off.
An aggressive call off as you're falling down.
Well,
not what the Vixens needed right now, but out of the box.
that's the sound of another penalty being called.
It sounds like.
Oh, and it looks like, oof, Andy Wardahl on her way back to the penalty box. Tough break there for the Vixens, Juicy.
The captain, Toxic Shock, just took an amazing hit. Got up smiling like, oh, I can't believe she got by me. Good work there by number 73, Red Rocker. Going to the box is some Dirty Mittens, and she's going, why? What did I do?
Yep. Looks like Kriller Queen doing her best to get through those Vixens there. Oh, and she does, scooting around on the inside. But what is this? Andy Wardall back with a vengeance out of that penalty box. Andy Wardall overtakes Kriller at the turn. Kriller calls it off.
It's pretty funny when your whole team that's on the track is turning around telling her to stop, call it off, call it off.
To 50 points. We just have just under a minute and a half left to go in this first half of this first bout.
And we've got number 12 out there, Fox and Mad, going up against Andy Wardall. We could call her Happy Feet. Her feet never stop moving. Whoa! So much for that.
Gosh. Fox and Mad must have heard us.
Yeah, she's mad at us.
Yeah. Andy Wardall having to circle to the back of the pack.
Ow.
There. Andy Wardall finally breaking out. Meanwhile, Fox and Mad stuck behind a wall of Vixens there.
Warhol decided she wanted a break before halftime.
Still at 69, so now it's a 40-point lead for the Broadbarians.
Coming up to jam number 2, it looks like Andy Wardall, number 2.
And I believe that is Fox and Mad on the jam line for the Broadbarians.
Yeah, she had a great jam last time, and let's see if she can continue it.
Yeah, she might have one this time, Juicy. She got through that pack pretty quick to be a lead jammer.
We got one in the box for each
would
team.
You look at that. Barely got touched there on her initial pass. That's going to be Warhol.
Oh, what a sweet inside move. I think she stole some points, Lexi.
I think she did too.
She's got 4.
It's like the Vixen started.
Our 2 DECU's like giving me crap now. Bam Bam Rebels out there going up against number 2, Andy Wardall.
Oh, look at that. Ragdoll is going to be your lead jammer there for the Vixens.
Andy Wardall's their lead jammer. Much needed points by the Vixens going outside. Full head of steam. Oh!
Takes a fall there and calls it.
What do you think, 3? I'm guessing. Power start, power jam brought to you by, the front room under fashions.
And Fox and Mad's going to be out there jamming for the Broadbarians. Looks like Fox and Mad took a hit to the outside, and Fox and Mad is getting called out on a track cut. This means that Andy Wardall will be released from the penalty box. Fox and Mad will serve the same amount of time Andy Warhol did. Nice. And Warhol comes out with a vengeance. But
has to make her initial pass.
She's going to be your lead jammer.
Tries the outside on turn 3, but
takes a tumble.
Doesn't make it. Close.
And Fox and Mad out of that box. That's a no pass, no penalty signal there from Kicks Rocks you're seeing. And taking the advice of the coach on the turn, Andy calls it off.
It's great having her. We have no shout-outs yet. We need shout-outs. $1 for a shout-out. That's all it costs. Come on, shout somebody out.
Isn't your name being called out over a microphone worth $1?
Plus over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheesh, Louise. Andy Wardahl with a zig and a zag.
I know. I want my name on the internet somewhere besides the police record.
Again.
I know. All right, Andy Wardahl's going to be your lead jammer, but will you look at that? Fox and Mad not that far behind.
Little jammer on jammer action coming up to the back. Oh, Andy Wardahl. Oh, look at that
look
move.
At that. That's going to be 4 points for the Broadbarians. Looks like Andy Wardahl still stuck in that pack. Andy Wardahl looks like going for the call-off as she's fallen to the floor.
Nice knockout there by number 5, Candence.
I thought for sure we were going to see another.
Going up against Bam Bam Rebel, number 8 for the Broadbarians. We'd like to remind everybody we're going to the Mayfair Bar after this. 1585 Lake Lansing Road, beautiful Hazlitt. Come check out that new carpet.
Oh, look at that. Andy Wardahl trying to scoot through on the inside. She's going to get stopped there by Yarmageddon. Has to go to the back. Oof.
We'd like to remind everybody we're going to have MVPs after this game. Thank goodness we don't have to call them.
I know.
There's your, oh no, Bam Bam Rebel going to the box for a forearm.
This is going to be a power jam for the Vixens.
Just have to get through that.
Almost out.
I thought those ballerina lessons paid off when she was younger, but she did fall out of bounds. She always had that problem when she was younger, staying up on her toes also.
I can relate to that.
One more going to the box for the Broadbarians. So good opportunity here for Andy with 2 E's. There we go.
Okay, Andy finally out of that pack. She's going to be lead jammer. It looks like the Broadbarians were able to stall Andy just long enough for Bam Bam to come out of that penalty box.
Andy just flies around his track with reckless abandonment. It's like, excuse me.
That century mark.
Yeah, they've cut this. They're on a 30-point lead right now with 2:30 to go.
But remember, we started this half with a 50-point lead for the Broadbarians.
Good for them. Good team. They had a good halftime talk.
Oh, they did.
One in the box. One in the box for the Broadbarians.
It looks like the Vixens doing a nice job holding Fox and Mad back. Oh, I lied. Fox and Mad's going to be your lead jammer. We've got Andy Wardahl back out there for the Vixens.
Here's the time for the Broadbarians to score some points after a 5-time shutout. Going into turn 1, tries the middle of the pack. Nothing going there. Good work by number 15, Evasive Species. Number 101 doing a great job, Gadget.
Yeah, I believe Andy Wardahl still trying to get through on her initial pass. 4 points there for the Broadbarians. Oh, and Broadbarians have just passed the century mark.
I'll drink. I got a water.
I got a Diet Coke.
I got to drive later.
Makes 2 of us. 4 more points on that board for the Broadbarians, brought to you by Fox and Mad, breaking that 5-jam scoreless streak. It looks like we got a panty pass from the Vixens, just as